You're very welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. The winter weather is coming in. What better to have a sweet treat cozying up in front of the telly.
There you have it. Edward Hayden is here with us. He's going to make us an apple and hazelnut crumble. Good morning to you.
Good morning, and I certainly am. On a Monday, imagine.
Who'd have thought? Treating us.
Yeah. Well, do you know what I really thought? A lot of people are still, trying to use up apples that they got from the autumn, because when people they get them, the yield is big, so you're trying to kind of use them up in every sort of an iteration. So I thought we'd look at that this morning. So I'm going to start, actually, I'm going to make a lovely butterscotch sauce to go with an apple and hazelnut crumble. So the apple and hazelnut crumble is kind of like a two-pronged attack, and then just to serve with that, I'm going to make a lovely butterscotch sauce. Okay. So to that end, what I've got in here is I've got 2 ounces, which is 50 grams of butter, and 2 ounces, which is 50 grams of brown sugar. And I'm just going to leave those to happily cook away there for a couple of minutes. And then I'm just going to add in some cream into it.
Is that it?
Okay, that is it. And it is moorishly delicious.
Is that the same sauce that you made with the sticky toffee pudding? Kind of that similar enough?
It's very similar sauce to that. The sticky toffee pudding, I think, was, if I remember, it was more like onto a caramel, but it's very similar as well. All the good things in it: butter and brown sugar and the cream. Now, meanwhile then, whilst that's sizzling away, and I will just let it sizzle for a minute or so, what I've got here is I've just got some cooking apples, which I've just started to peel and dice. And what I'm going to do with those, I'll just give a little stir in this. I want this to get nice and brown. So just while I'm waiting for that...
So you went with cooking apples?
Use cooking apples. Always use cooking apples for something like this. So I'm going to put those into my pan. OK, to that, I'm just going to add some sugar. So, again, I've said to you in the recipe about 4 large cooking apples. I've just used about 2.5 there. And so I'll put in a little bit less sugar and some water in there as well. And I'm very happily just going to let those stew down together for the next couple of minutes. Now, come back to those in just a second. See that lovely bubble and broth that's on that? OK, so once that's kind of really sizzling and bubbling nicely, and you can start to smell the kind of the combination of the butter and sugar, I'm just going to pour in my cream in there. And I'm literally
This won't curdle then,
Not at all, not at all. What you're going to do is you're going to kind of make a lovely rich sauce. So into that, mix the sugar and the butter into the cream, and then I'm just going to reduce the heat on that, and I'm just going to let that sizzle away there and simmer away just for a couple of minutes. And that's essentially that. Right. Again, sometimes people make a caramel sauce where they'll put sugar and water in.
Why is it called butterscotch?
Again, because I don't know.
There's no scotch in it.
There's no scotch in it. There's no scotch. The person who invented it, that's what they called it. And there could have been as well. You could put a little bit of booze in there, a little bit of Irish cream liqueur would be lovely in there as well. So, meanwhile then, we've got our apples, our sugar and our water just cooking down nicely. And to that then, I'm just going to add in a little hint of cinnamon in there as well. So we'll come back to those in just a few moments. And then meanwhile, what I've got is I've got a lovely crumble topping. So I've got 9 ounces, 250 grams there of plain flour, to which I'm going to add in 110 grams, which is 4 ounces of brown sugar. And then what I've got is I've got 5 ounces, which is 150 grams of butter, which I've just cubed up there really, really nicely. So what I'm going to do is, in with my hands, I'm just going to get in and give that a nice little mix around. I'm also going to put a little bit of cinnamon in there.
This is the crumble for the top.
This is the crumble for the topping, yeah? So this is a gorgeous crumble topping. And then I'm literally just going to start rubbing that in with my fingers. OK, and then into that, I'm going to put some hazelnuts in just a few minutes.
Okay. So I was going to say, what's making it, because you always think a crumble is a crunchy type.
Yeah, well, now, you actually could use the butter, the sugar and the flour is sufficient to give you that crumble, crunchy topping.
Oh, is it? Because when you put it in the oven.
That's the basic of it all.
I thought, why did I think there was always something in it?
Well, you can put a lot of things into it, and people do put in, like, flaked almonds. They put in porridge oats in there as well.
Porridge oats is what I was thinking of.
Porridge oats would be lovely in there as well.
Pistachio
nuts. So you can put in a mountain of things in there to make it extra crunchy. But essentially the flour, the butter and the sugar will be sufficient. I've just got some hazelnuts, which I'm going to put in just a few moments, because the hazelnuts, that kind of nutty flavour, works very complementarily with the apples.
Complementarily? Yeah. Oh, look, there's the word.
With that butter, Edward, do you want it to be soft? Or
no, I don't want it to be too soft, because what I want is I want there to be little kind of of crumbly bits. You know, people often say until it resembles fine breadcrumbs. I can see what they're trying to say, but it's not necessarily like a breadcrumb. But I don't get excited if there's still a little bit of butter not fully broken in.
Okay. Like, Edward, you'd always have to make this, wouldn't you? You couldn't, but can you buy a crumble in a shop? You can't really.
Well, I don't know. I'd say you probably can. Listen, you can buy everything at this stage.
Yeah, but it'd be like a bread crumble or something. It wouldn't be this.
It wouldn't be as nice as this.
But it would be.
I can tell you. Now, okay, so there we have it. So there we have it, in there with our hazelnuts. And as I said, let our apples stew down. You can make these in either large or individual ones. I've done a large one in the oven. I've just got some individual. That's my lovely apples stewed down. And pop the little crumble topping on the top.
Oh, wow.
Now, I've given you on the recipe online the cooking time. So for the larger crumble, you're talking, you'd need to give that about 30 or 35 minutes, which is what I've given this one in the oven. And then for the individual ones, you're talking a little bit less. You're on to 20 or 25. Look at that lovely crumble, just like that. And then what I'm going to do, I'm literally just going to spoon a little bit of that into our lovely dishes. And then what I've got...
So the sauce.
What I've got is I've got some of my lovely butterscotch sauce, which I'm going to top with that. Now, again, of course, you could use custard if you wanted as well, but the crumble just works really well with that lovely butterscotch sauce. So you want to pass that one over to Tommy there, Alan? And then I have one for you.
Is that roasting now coming out of the oven?
Well, it'll be lovely and hot coming out of the oven, which is what you want. And it's kind of just that little hug in a bowl. And then, if you excuse me, I've just got some lovely whipped cream there to pour over the top of that as well. Or you could use custard. Isn't that just lovely on a Monday morning?
Delicious, yeah.
Nothing says welcome to the week like apple and hazelnut crumble.
It's gorgeous. Edward
very
Hayden,
welcome.
thank you so much. Lovely. Delighted with it.
Delighted with that. Thank you, Edward. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Edward. Right, come